Welcome to Turn to Your Neighbor. This is the Christian talk show where we talk about the church, music, movies, social media, and a whole lot more. My name is Cliff, and this is Dr. T. Up. If I take her off mute, you can be done. There you go.
It was all in my hands and my face. I was like this. Hey, neighbors, we're back.
Okay, and this is Big Dre.
We gotta get a good one. What up, neighbors? I could have gave you 5 more seconds on that, but I figured we're gonna get into it. What up, neighbors? It's good to see y'all. What up to the hood? What up, family? What up, Cliff? What up, Dr. T? How are we doing?
What up?
Y'all feeling refreshed and ready to go? Can I say something real quick? I got something to say already. I got something to say. Yo, I'm out of control. I've been saving up takes. I'm ready.
Okay.
But this is a real thing. I want to say thank you to the hood. I want to say thank you to the neighborhood. The fact that we've been going for like a month and then we got double-digit people really online, like, and y'all signed on.
Ain't like, making an announcement or nothing, Jesus. We ain't making a promo. We ain't tell y'all we just
snuck back in.
We just showed up.
Really, back into the interwebs.
Thank you to the neighbors. Props to all y'all.
Yeah, that means something to me, man. I'm like, oh, y'all really mess with us. That's what's up.
But honestly, what else are they doing?
Yo,
because the COVID is still out there.
No, people out here living their life. People out here living their life.
The COVID people is still here.
Saints, there's a difference between faith and stupidity. And some of us is just out. See, I'm not. This is too early for this take. Cliff, you have a whole show. Let's go to the show. But I got a whole show.
Oh, what's up, neighbors? Thank you for hanging with us tonight. Do me a favor right now and please share. Hit the like button at the bottom of your screen on Facebook. There is some buttons. Hit the like button, please, and share so we can get more neighbors because there's a lot of neighbors that don't know we back.
Oh, yeah, I should share, shouldn't I? Give me
neighbors that don't have notifications. I'm sharing right now. Neighbors that don't have notifications.
We had a whole idea of doing a whole promo, and then I got lazy and never got back to Cliff. I saw your text. My bad, though.
Oh, it's all right.
Yeah.
I was like, I guess not. I guess not.
And that's fine. Yeah, we're going to do a whole thing. I didn't know Dr. T's schedule. She's a busy person, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to blame Dr. T. Even though I try to blame Dr. T, it always never goes over well for me. Some of y'all are also watching the battle that's currently going on right now. Dipset versus the Locks.
Oh, is that tonight?
Oh, it's just going on right now, evidently. Okay. That's okay. We all know that's Dipset all day, but we'll keep it moving though. Amen.
Yeah. We did not. Pastor Hampton said, "I'm glad to clarify." I thought it was the promo. No, he just was crazy lazy and just said, "Well, we just show up on air and see what happens."
We still in the pandemic. That's who we're gonna blame.
Yes.
Covisha.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Covisha.
I think I'm going with that from now on.
Covisha, she is she sticks around. She's a resilient little something.
Let me ask you this question though. When you do start seeing the variants of names of COVID, how you going to react? Because you're going to see a Covisha, Kavana, like you're going to see a couple things like you was a COVID baby.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you, like, it's not
there
fair
probably
to make...
already were people named Moderna.
Oh.
That sounds close to a name.
I wasn't even ready for that.
Our people will name stuff off of
Pfizer is going to be real hard.
Am I allowed to clown somebody named Covisha? Like I know when you were born. I know what your parents are doing during the breakdown, but no.
You just shake your head like, baby,
it's okay. It's okay. Right. I've seen worse names. It's all right, but it's good to see y'all. How are y'all doing? Y'all staying safe?
Yeah.
I ain't trying to catch COVID in these streets.
Look,
like these people out here crazy.
I go on my walks. I be drinking water and stuff. I am trying to stay here. I'm staying away from McDonald's. Like I'm doing all of the things that you're supposed to do in your 30s. So
I see
my philosophy has always been, we pay X amount of thousands of dollars for this house. I'm always be comfortable staying right here. Pre-COVID, during COVID, post-COVID, as much money as you gotta pay for a house, I'm gonna be comfortable in my own spot.
I wasn't ready for that one, so thank you for taking it there. All right,
I'm just saying.
I'm still making payments on this house. We always gonna be comfortable.
That's right. That's right.
I wasn't ready.
I know that's right.
Here we go.
All right, so a lot happened while we were on break, and we probably won't cover most of it, but we're gonna start with one of the big events. The biggest event in gospel music was the 36th annual Stellar Awards, and this year it was hosted by Jacqueline Carr and Ty Tribbett. I think it was good that they finally got different people to host and then roll out Kirk Franklin and Yolanda Adams and the same old people. So it was good that they got new hosts.
Yes.
Did you guys watch it, and what did you think about the show?
Definitely watched it. Had no idea it was going to be on TV. I was in Detroit this weekend. Yes,
you was
my family. Fun. So I feel like Detroit was also on display at the awards, real strong. But I really have one thing to say.
Oh, let's go. She got something.
It has nothing to do with music.
Oh, it's okay.
Because I know you got a lot and you're probably going to deal with the music, Dre. Look, this is it. As we saw the weaves and wigs and wonderment, I said to myself, these Black women have invested in themselves, okay? They said it's been a heck of a year and a half plus, however many years long we've been in this pandemic. I'm coming out with just everything I've got. Okay. So edges were laid and dyed and just dipped and slipped and everything. I mean, Jacqueline Carr, I need one of those suits for my book tour. All of that stuff you can tell was like homemade. I loved it. And these women invested. And I said to myself, if BET had invested a quarter of that into the mics / sound system, then maybe I could have heard a song or two. But because these individual artists put more money into the weaves, wigs, and wonderment, and they looked amazing. than BET spent on this entire production. Shame on you, BET.
Well, I don't think. Well, I'm gonna defend BET a little bit. I don't think. I'm not sure how much control they have over the actual production because the Stellar Awards is its own like production thing. So I know
they're just a distributor.
BET is the
Shame
broadcast
on you, Stellar Awards.
But because remember back in the day, the Stellar Awards, it was hit or miss. I mean, you could live in Detroit, I could live in New Jersey, and we watch it on two separate channels or at two different times. So it would air, in my neighborhood on August the 5th, but you won't see it till August the 17th. So back in the day, it was everywhere. I think BET just kind of controls the broadcast rights, but I'm sure as far as production quality, I'm not sure how much input they have over.
But they should say, you know what? Look,
exactly.
This is BET. This is like real TV. Okay, so you've got to, the sound system y'all been using since 1998. You got to upgrade that. And the thing is, this happens every year because you can hear the bands clearly.
Yes.
You can hear the background. You cannot hear the lead singers. And you could tell because they're all screaming.
They're all screaming.
They can't hear themselves.
I don't know.
And I'm sick and tired of it. In the year of our Lord 2021.
It's like church people blaming the sound, man.
Yo, Pastor Hampton, he already...
Just like church people.
Can I get Chris's comment on the screen? Because Chris just announced his presence. He is back in the building already. If you didn't see the actual award, Tamika was so mad her face turned redder than Tremaine Hawkins' hair. They honored Tremaine Hawkins, and her hair was especially red. Amen and amen. Dr. T, I 100% agree with you. I understand what you were saying. First of all, I have been watching a lot of Olympics, and one of the commentary that I have had going is my disappointment with some of the wiggery and wonderment of what was happening for some of the peoples. Like that wig's not on straight. That I don't know what that is, but that shouldn't be there. And so when I saw the Stellar Awards, I said, you know what? This is how it's done. And it reinstated my faith. I'm like, yep. That's the way it's supposed to look.
So you had issues with people in the Olympics, the way they wore their hair. And I'm guessing the sprinters.
Yeah.
They be defying gravity and the laws of physics and stuff.
He's talking about the track and field athletes. That's who he's talking about.
It's specifically the track and field athlete because baby girl got a whole degree from Harvard, but nobody can tell her how to put her wig on straight. I'm going to just leave that there and keep on moving. But I was very happy to see it. Everyone looked great. Big shout out as always to Tamala Man. I see what you're doing. You're doing what you do. Keep doing what you're doing.
That's right, girl.
And we're just gonna keep moving past that. But yeah, it was a lot of great things happening. I actually enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I enjoyed it, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna. I came in with both guns ready. I was going to shoot this to bits. I was going to light it up, but I enjoyed it for the most part. I got some notes, got a few notes we can go over, but I actually, for the most part, enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was a very good production, especially compared to last year. Even though I know last year was all virtual, but the song choices this year was even better than last year. Last year it was mid-tempo after slow song after mid-tempo. At least this year we got some hype, upbeat music. And, you felt like you actually wanted to be there, and it was actually a good time, and not somebody's funeral or easy listening party, like I felt like last year.
Right, because not nary a mask was in sight. So I sure hope everybody was vaccinated.
And for those of you that didn't see it, I'm not sure what I didn't hear anything about the requirements to attend, if everyone was tested beforehand or you had to be vaccinated beforehand or whatever. But they were shoulder to shoulder in the crowd, and like maybe one or two masks in the entire crowd. They were so I pray to God that the Stellar Awards wasn't a super spreader, because those people were shoulder to shoulder, not social distancing or nothing. Jesus, they was just like, we here, we gonna be loud, we gonna have a good time, we don't care.
And this was in Tennessee.
Yep,
I think there probably no rules.
I 100% agree with what Chris said. I was worried because there are some people who are legends in my life in that room. And that thing was stacked, completely packed out.
Yeah.
I saw about 3-4 masks, and that was them people said, y'all ain't gonna get me. Y'all is not gonna get me. But I was a little concerned. I'll put it that way. I
That
was
was
slightly concerned.
odd.
Let me say this, and this is going to take on a couple different levels here, but it's all what I'm thinking. The venue itself, an older venue, it was historical, not older, but historical. It was very well maintained, but in historical venues, the seating arrangements, particularly the seats, tend to be of a more diminutive nature.
Okay.
The room for your butt is a little bit tighter in those venues. Now keep this in mind, because we are celebrating gospel. And so, stereotypically speaking, some of our people inside of the gospel industry have enjoyed a chicken plate or 3 in their lifetime. And so we may be coming from a heartier stock. And I saw on more than a few occasions, we were trying to fit 2 XL people into medium-sized seats. Okay. And so I'm seeing people, the spirit was being stifled because they were being stifled. They sitting here like this. And they couldn't put their arms on the rest because somebody else's roll was on the armrest where their arm was supposed to be. It was a whole thing. I saw it. And because what also happens is I was watching social media when it was originally recorded, and they were showing a lot of behind the scenes shots. Mm-hmm. And I was seeing some of my favorites trying to slip into some of those chairs. And maybe it was just a little post-COVID wait, you know what I'm saying? They're going to work it out a little bit. But we have to remember for future venues, maybe folding chairs with a little bit of space in between. Maybe that type of a venue. Because that, while it looked nice, not everybody was comfortable. That's all I'm gonna have to. That's all I have to say.
So I want to get to 2 quick things, and I know you got a list of stuff you still want to get to, right? All right. So first, I'm so spoilers for some of y'all didn't see it because I just want to. We can't talk about the Stellar Awards and not mention some of the big awards. All right, so Artist of the Year was Pastor Mike Jr. That's the same dude that last year won New Artist of the Year and was like, I sowed the seed, and look where I am now. So well,
Cash App,
I guess his seed has carried him forward to Artist of the Year. Song of the Year was Something Has to Break from Kiki Sheard. Male vocalist of the year was Jonathan McReynolds.
Yeah.
Female vocalist of the year, Tasha Cobbs Leonard. Now there are like 50 different group categories, but group duo of the year was the Clark Sisters. Right. And new artist of the year was Maverick City Music.
No, contemporary duo. Contemporary duo chorus, or is that a different chorus?
That's what I'm saying. It's like 5 different group categories. There's group of the year, contemporary group of the year, and traditional group of the year. Okay. 3 separate awards.
Because I was writing some of these down. I'm like, we got different ones, but yeah.
New artist of the year is, I'm not gonna read all, but new artist of the year was Maverick City Music, and choir of the year was JJ Harrison, and Youthful Praise. So Richard in the comments mentioned that at what point the Stellar Awards going to acknowledge Christian hip hop? Well, they actually have in the past. One of my favorite performances is you can look it up on YouTube. The Truth, he did That Great Day remix. It was on the Stellar Awards, and they have a whole hip hop award. But usually hip hop artist doesn't win it. Like in the past, Kirk Franklin has won this award. This year, Pastor Mike Jr. won this award. So if you have like one rap song on your album, they will you are eligible for a rap Stellar Award, and chances are you win, because like I said, Kirk Franklin has won this award probably multiple times. I know definitely once. And there was also that song "I God Is Awesome" with Charles Jenkins. They did a remix with Lecrae and The Truth, Jessica Reedy. So there is some hip hop at the Stellar Awards. Definitely, there's not a hip hop performance every year where they probably should be, but that's it.
I miss The Truth. Hey, let me hit a couple things. First of all, just going off the awards themselves. Pastor Mike, is that his name? Yes. Something about this dude still don't sit well with me, man. I swear to goodness, dog. Like, I really tried.
I've had Pastor Mike on the show. Go ahead.
I was trying. I don't want him. Keep him. So we're gonna find out something in the end. I'm telling you. every time I see him, he doesn't hit my spirit right. Even when he was trying to preach and trying to do whatever, I'm like, you're off. And I just, this is terrible to say about somebody when I don't know them, but I'm saying it. I already said it. And he just don't sit right with me. I don't know what it is. He just never sits right. He's put out a couple bangers. I dig your music. I can't dig it as much because I can't dig you. And so that's throwing me off. Let me throw a quick shout out to Dr. Gary Kloss Jr. He just graduated with his PhD. I see you, good sir, in the comments. Good sir.
I see you, sir. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. So I just throw that out there real quick. That was completely off. I'm sorry.
That's right.
But we acknowledge Black excellence. Artist of the year. When they call Pastor Mike Jr., you're not gonna get my blood pressure up today. When they call Pastor Mike Jr., it literally did not make any sense. If you watch the awards, Maverick City was nominated at least in 4 different categories. And they gonna put this dodo bird on the screen for Artist of the Year. I lost my mind. There's a whole larger discussion about Maverick City being gospel. They call themselves a gospel choir, by the way. They actually sell merchandise with gospel choir on it, which is very interesting to me. And they got, yeah, exactly, Dr. T. Think about it. But they did a heck of a version. Gyra is my song, and they performed Gyra on the awards. They killed it. I love the arrangement that was behind the scenes with them. Yeah, but it was very interesting. And let me put this out there. I'm allowed to say this as a big boy. You can tell there are certain people who have been dressing up as a larger size individual for a while, and certain people who are new to it, because the level of clothing.
Name names.
No, that's mean. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I could do it, but because there was some suspectness going on. It's like, all right, they're just new to this. They probably haven't been doing this for a while, and you could also tell them the material is cheaper as well. But we'll get back to the actual stuff that I wanted to talk about here. It was a whole different thing. Shirley Caesar throwing out vaccine shade was hilarious. If you didn't see it during the actual ceremony, she talked about how she's standing there beside Bobby Jones, and she's like, I want to thank y'all for allowing me to be up here, and I just want to be in front of you. I got my 2 shots. And she looks at Bobby, did you get your shots? And he's like, well, yes, I did. And she said, good. She said, somebody came up to me early and asked for a photo. I said, did you get your shots? She said, no, I didn't. I said, oh. I said, did she just do this over the mic? She did it on air. It was hilarious. It's the whole entire thing. We're going to get into that in a little bit. What else do I have for the people? There's a whole lot happening here. Tamala saying, I actually think that Kiera Clark sheared Kelly. We're going to recognize her married name.
Yes, I can't remember. Yes.
Kiera sheared Kelly is what she calls herself now. She killed her performance. I actually think she outsang Tamala on the night. I would give her my MVP vocally of the night. Mm-hmm. I think Kiera killed her, even though, yes, they were both screaming for most of the time.
Okay.
Leandria lost to Jacqueline Carr for Female Vocalist of the Year, even though 2 of the 4 nominations in the Female Vocalist of the Year category belong to Leandria. I'm thoroughly confused about what happened.
See, I don't understand, because I thought Vocalist of the Year just meant your overall performance in the entire year, but they seem to break that category down into songs.
Yes, which was interesting. It seemed to be a song-based thing, because one was based off of her performance on PJ Morton's album.
Yeah.
And then I think the other one was hers.
It didn't. That whole thing didn't make sense.
It didn't make sense. But how's she gonna lose? I don't know. Anyway,
because this is their way of like shading people.
Yeah, the 50-50 shot.
You know, taking your name off the church roll. You've been going there for 15 years. That type of thing. Yeah, I think it seemed like to be a lot of politicking.
It did.
But usually when the host is in a category, the host usually wins the award in a lot of cases.
But you ain't had to nominate her twice. If you knew
That was in the writer. You pay her this much and she wins an award.
Like if you knew if she's gonna be, nominate her twice. Like if you knew she's gonna lose, don't do that. That's too much. That's too much. I loved. Okay, this is gonna get me in trouble. I love the Clark sisters. I respect.
I want to talk about that. Yes,
I respect who they are. I respect what they represent. They are goats. Like, be clear.
Yeah.
I also need to be clear that the Clark sisters shouldn't be singing their own music anymore.
They were fine. Oh, what?
No, they weren't. No, they were not. If you go back and listen to that performance, first of all, most of the vocals you heard were the background vocalists. They tried to give you the okey doke because I was watching Twinkie's mouth move, and guess what? She wasn't matching with the words.
It's been a long year.
It's been a lot.
They just came off a Church of God in Christ election.
I'm not done with that. I'm not done with that. Secondly, I thought they were gonna bring out the actresses because at least 2 of the 4 were in the building.
They did.
They did. At the very end of the last song,
but all of them weren't there.
Yeah, but I thought they were gonna let them. I thought they were gonna let them sing the tribute. Yes. That was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, when he said the Clark sisters, I thought he was just saying that to be the actors from the movie.
I was so hyped. I'm like, oh, they about to kill this. They could be Christina.
But that's like a new thing. I think maybe people are doing that to get. I think this is a money thing. Maybe they get some type of. They can get compensated if they do their own tribute.
Okay.
Type deal. That's my guess. And trying to remind people of who they are, that type of thing.
So the interesting thing, okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. The interesting thing about the tribute, I felt Jackie Clark, phenomenal. Like we said, they all phenomenal. I felt like I understood Jackie Clark in this moment because there was a time when, in the tribute towards the end, when Dorinda and Karen were going back and forth doing their vocal gymnastics.
Yep.
And poor Jackie, because there are levels to this.
There are levels.
She couldn't do nothing. They didn't even show her while they were doing this. They were doing their little thing, and Jackie was just standing there. I know how you feel, Jackie. I have been on the stage with people that sing far better than me, and they doing their thing, and I got nothing.
Why are you mad at Annie?
I got nothing. I'm not mad at Annie. Other people, Annie, Tilly, Laisha. I can start naming people. I got nothing. Like y'all do y'all. Yeah, I'm just gonna sit here. Y'all go forth.
I'm gonna be.
But
here.
why did they start the? Why did they start the tribute with them seated on the stage? People should never be seated on the stage.
Here's the thing. I thought about that.
They looked awful.
Let's be honest. As
in that posture,
them mothers can't be standing but for so long at that age. They got
you supposed to be in the audience. These are production things that were not thought of.
Yeah, I gotta remember these sisters are getting up in age. Like I said, it's been a lot. COVID is taking a toll on all of us in one way or another. Y'all need to.
But there should have been something else done. I think having that looked very,
Yeah, it looked very
20th church anniversary.
Thank you. It looked very Black church.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
It's a television production. It's more than that. This is Viacom. This is CBS Viacom. This is my telecommunications nerd. Yeah. This is CBS. This is Viacom. There's way too much money behind this. It should have been done better. But I do agree with what you said earlier. I think Stellars produces it themselves and then just kind of lets the distribution happen.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I'm going to say this again. As now that we have, it's blasphemy. Now that we have a better version of the Clark sisters walking around currently, they need to be singing Clark sisters music from now on.
You can't say that.
I just said it. You should stop singing your music.
Oh.
Or you're gonna have to walk it down at least a half a step or a whole step.
Bills must be paid, okay? Y'all not about to keep disposing of these people. Bills must be paid.
There was a better version of them in the audience.
No, but in any situation, you want to see the legends perform. Like for whatever, good or bad, you want your shot at the legends because you don't know this could be the last time. So you want your shot with the legends. You want to hear the legends. You don't want to hear discount Clark sisters sing. You want the real Clark sisters.
But vocally, I like to hear good music. That's why I sign up for these shows.
Yeah, but this is
was
the
mid.
production. So if the production of it all was all about the real Clark sisters.
I was like, okay, maybe have the Clark sisters start off and then bring out the new Clark sisters. That's what I'm
Yeah,
calling from now on. The new Clark
these
sisters.
women sang together for one movie, and you call them
Right.
I bring the new Clark
making
sisters
them a
out
group.
there. But here's the thing: they're all professional singers and all great. Anyway, I'm gonna stop there. Cliff, you touched upon something that actually scared me about this whole production. You said when you start to see this stuff, you don't know. You tune in because you don't know if it's one of the last times you're going to see them.
Yeah,
When I was watching, when you start honoring the Clark sisters for lifetime achievement and Shirley Caesar and Tremaine Hawkins, it really hit me, man.
yeah.
Because there's some other death around me recently. Like it hit me. It's like, yo, we about to start losing people that like I grew up like that were really real to me and major to me. You know what I'm saying? And then seeing them give the lifetime honor achievement thing is like, I mean, congratulations, but it hurt a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Speaking of loss, uh, Rance Allen died after the last one, right? After the last broadcast, they didn't mention him in
Ooh,
this
they
one.
did.
Now, the Stellar Awards usually doesn't do that in memoriam,
But it's
whatever,
Rance
in
Allen.
memoriam, but it is Rance Allen.
It's Rance Allen.
I just realized that they totally didn't.
You're right.
Now, maybe they might have done it at the luncheon that we don't get to see, where they give out the other awards that don't make air.
Right.
I don't know.
Can I touch upon something?
Yeah, and then we're gonna move on.
I know. Last one. Pastor Hampton. Bring his comment up on screen, man. Could they hold the stellars in the church? We have all these darn mega churches. There's better production value sitting in TD Jakes, all his pulpits right now. All of them. He has like how many different churches? They could do them there. They all sit in big enough cities that they could find the hotel rooms that they would be fine. I think this is a real thing.
They could, but they wanted to be big time. They wanted to feel big time. Like they have non-gospel artists. Like this year, Master P was there. In the past, Destiny's
Right.
Child. They say they wanted to feel. I'm not against them having it at church, but I think they wanted to feel like a big deal. And just having
It's
it at a
about
church,
the artistry, right?
yeah, having it at a
Like this
church
is a
would make it,
genre. Mhm.
yeah, having it at a church would make it feel like a big deal.
I just
I
think
agree with that.
I think that's interesting because if you actually looked at that facility may have sat at like 1,500, maybe 2,000 people.
Now they usually have it at a different facility. They have it at the big joint in Nashville, the
Right.
Opry.
Right.
Yeah, wherever this was, it wasn't the Opry.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
because all of TD Jakes' churches are bigger than that event.
Yeah.
Bigger
I think
than
they
that
just had that small place again because of COVID.
And remember, small places equal, and with big people equal just clenched up spirits. And so I just think we need to be careful about the seating next year. We can move on. I could talk about this all day, but yeah, go watch the Stellars. They were actually very good.
Right.
Yeah, they were. I enjoyed them.
But go watch them.
Overall, the production, it wasn't like the best Stellar that I've ever
Right.
seen, but it was very entertaining.
I
Like,
was
I
gonna
left-
yes,
I
the
left
hosts were
entertained.
great. I
Yeah.
mean,
I don't
Ty
find Ty
Trebek
Tribbett
got
funny.
his whole Sheila E on, and it was thoroughly entertaining. I agree.
Oh my gosh! All right, I'm good.
All right. We're gonna move on. So we mentioned big church. So one of the biggest churches in the country is pastored by Joel Osteen. And while we were on break, there was this big deal. People all up in arms because it came out that Joel Osteen and Liquid Church took out a PPP loan in the sum of $4.4 million.
Ooh.
So, of course, the hashtag tax the churches was going all through Twitter. People were also upset because it appears that Pastor Osteen is worth at least 40 million, if not more.
Okay.
And there was pictures of his house circulating. He has this huge mansion in the Houston area, and alleged cars. Like he allegedly owns a Ferrari or multiple luxury fancy cars. And so the question: do you guys have an issue with Lakewood taking out a 4.4 million PPP loan and a pastor of his nature having what people consider to be a lavish lifestyle?
Dr. T.
There's nothing lavish about that bedhead hair gel.
I wasn't the personal attack.
I've always thought that they dress way below their weight, but you know, I'm not, that's as much as I'm hating on them because I really don't care. As I understand it, you know, back in the day when Oprah was, you know, doing more interviews on TV, she went to his house. It looked fancy. Well, the dude is a New York Times best-selling author times like 25 or something, you know, so that's what I expect. You know, he can go to a city and fill up a stadium, not just in his city, you know, in other cities. That's what I expect somebody like that to be making, how I expect them to be living. So I don't have any problems with it. And he told Oprah then that he's never taken a check from the church.
That's correct.
Now, that doesn't mean, so a little bit of behind the scenes of sort of sometimes how this happens. Sometimes churches will give their pastors like a housing stipend and a car stipend and so it's not income, but in that it can only be used for that designated purpose. But it doesn't count as income, but it's also like, well, they don't have to, you know, it's what they can use to partially fund their lifestyle. So there are, I don't want to, loopholes is not the right word, but there are various ways that pastors can be compensated without it technically being like salaries that they get in a check. So I suspect that there's probably some of that in the past, some of that going on, but he has no need to take a check from that church. And in terms of the PPP, this is what people forget. When you are a huge church like that, your bills are just as huge.
And you got staff. Yeah.
Exactly. So I believe that the church, his pocket and the church's pocket, yes, are related, but they are two different bags.
I agree.
So people have to keep that in mind.
I 100% agree. Just because COVID may not have slowed down his personal money, but he probably has more than over 100 staff underneath him to make that thing work.
Yeah.
And so when the services stop rolling and the ties may have stopped rolling in, either you lay people off or you get this PPP. And so I can't be too mad at that. And if people were really mad at Joel Osteen, they would stop buying his stuff. Because, like you're funding his lifestyle, so you can't be mad at it. Like if you ever downloaded a book or bought a book or seen one of his movie productions or whatever, stream something, you're funding his lifestyle. So like, don't be too mad at it and keep it moving. I'm not mad at him for that. You can make money. Plus, we're gonna have to touch upon this concept. I understand the idea of being humble. But part of what we do is to bring people in to the church and bring people in to say, hey, yes, I'm a follower of Christ and I can be good and prosperous in this. Why do I have to look like I am or live life dirt poor?
I can't stand the poverty gospel.
Yeah. And it's like, no, why would somebody want to come follow and get on board with this? It's like, yeah, they love God, but they struggle all the time. It's like no, you can be prosperous and still be okay. I'm not gonna get into prosperity gospel and the whole talks behind that, but yeah, you can be okay. And so man, make your money as long as you're not doing nothing funny with the money. Go ahead and make the money.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with a pastor getting whatever he gets, however he gets his money, as long as he's not robbing people or embezzling the church's money. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Now, my issue is when like people like what John Gray did when you out here flaunting money, but then you crying that the church is poor and you crying that we need money for this and that for the church. Like it's not a good look. Let me just say that it's not a good look when you do that. But what he's doing, I got no problem with that. Definitely got no problem with it with the PPP loan either. Now, this does bring up an interesting thing. And the next thing I want to get to is that churches are now having to find other ways to generate revenue.
Yep.
So there's this church called Mosaic Church, where they church has separate businesses.
Mhm.
I want you guys to hear the pastor talking about how the church has approached having separate businesses outside of just collecting, or separate streams of revenue outside of just collecting money from the members.
Traditionally, churches are run in a funding way through tithes and offerings. The people attend your church, they put money into the offering plate, it pays the bills, it pays the salary of the pastor, it pays the mortgage payment. There is a business model to the church. We don't like to talk about it. People don't want to necessarily think about it, but there is an economic reality to every church. The more that people joined our church, the homeless, the immigrant, the undocumented, the poor, it cost us money. And we realized if we're going to have effective ministry, we're going to have to develop multiple streams of income.
So if you want to open a church in a place like this, you have to find another way to make some money.
That's not just an urban reality anymore. With less people attending church, offerings going down, it doesn't matter now if you're in the suburbs. See, what we learned in the inner city 20 years ago is now true across the country.
So this church, Mosaic Church, they are in what used to be a big box store. I forgot what the name of the store, but they're in like a huge area. And so next to them, they own property, and they rented it out to a Planet Fitness on one side and some other business on the other side. So this church is making money off the property and in other ways. What do you guys think about churches operating like businesses?
But so you know what she think. Remember, y'all lit me up on here about this before when I got mad at Mike. I was not sure about Mike Todd. Is that what his name is?
Michael Todd. Mm-hmm.
Michael Todd and Pastor Michael Todd. Their church owns the entire complex that they sit in, and they rent the businesses out, the spaces out to the businesses.
Yeah.
And what's interesting, after we had the discussion on the air, I actually had a discussion with my father. He's like, it's like the black church is actually late to this.
Yes.
It's like the Catholic Church and a lot of other majority white denominations have been running businesses for generations. Even
non-Christians.
Yes.
Like the Jews. Like our Jewish brothers and sisters. Yeah.
And so it's not a new thing. It's like we're actually kind of late to this part of the game. And that is how you fund things. Some of the things he said were very true. Attendance is down. Offering is down. And so that's how the church runs.
People everywhere, millennials everywhere who cannot fry nan, piece of catfish, or chicken should be hoping that our churches adopt this business model.
Yeah. Because
the old business model is selling fried fish dinners and chicken dinners. And that's, unrealistic and unsustainable for a number of reasons. And it no longer covers the cost. It is a lot more expensive to operate a ministry these days, just like it's more expensive for you and I to operate our households than it was for our grandparents. It is more expensive, certainly, to operate a ministry. And you have people leaving churches left and right. And you have people who have no sense. Tithing is not a practice for them. Regular giving is not necessarily a practice for them. So you're going to have to think outside of the offering plate. Yeah. And I think that, it's excellent and necessary.
If you are a church, after your building is paid off, you should be buying up real estate. Buy up everything you can in the area, buy houses, all kinds of properties, start generating more money. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. And those and what's happening in those businesses, well, there's 2 points I actually like to bring them up. Christopher Townsend made a good point, and it's a good question to ask. But churches aren't businesses. The main purpose for a business is to make as much money as possible, no? And so it can get into the morality of it, which could be a solid question, I guess, as long as you are being held accountable inside your business practices. That's an important thing. But
go ahead. I was gonna say, you got to be able to generate revenue somehow.
Right.
And we can't have it both ways. We can't bash churches for constantly asking people for money, and then not like it when they find other ways to generate revenue.
That part,
like we want them to feed the poor and take care of the sick and do all this other kind of stuff, but stop asking me for money don't have 3 offerings on Sunday. Well, they got to generate revenue somehow. And if it's not coming from my pocket or your pocket, it has to come from somewhere else.
Do you remember that story we did a couple years ago or a year or two ago where that church for Christmas gave out like 1 point something million to the and cleared off all the debt for layaway for their entire church or something like that? That money had to come from somewhere. So I can understand that. It was another valid point that was being made. Also, actually, your mom brought it up. People used to leave their estates to the church. Like also years ago, people left endowments to the churches.
It doesn't do stuff like that. Doesn't do much for your family's generational wealth,
right?
It does help the church out.
Yeah, and so it's something that's important because I'll put it this way: we joke about it on this podcast, but if people want lights, smoke machines, and coffee bars, that has to come from somewhere financially. And the $2 you throw in at Ty, I'm not talking about you specifically. The $2 I throw in on a Sunday, you know what I'm saying, is not going to pay for that cup of coffee.
Right.
Or the Keurig, you know what I mean?
And then you want it to be out of this world music ministry. Well, guess what? All out of this world music ministers, you pay them these days. That's how that works. You want your pastor to come with that fire. Well, if he graduated from somebody's school or she graduated from somebody's school, they cost more. Right? Like you got to pay them for that. Maybe they want to get another degree on top of their degree. Okay, you got to pay them for that. Maybe they want to take an annual sabbatical, which is a normal thing, these days. Well, guess what? Then you got to pay somebody else to preach in their place. You have to have a ministerial staff. If you want youth ministry to be popping, okay, and I mean popping like I come drop the kid off, I'll see you in a few hours popping, then guess what? You probably need to pay a youth minister to coordinate and organize those things. So it costs money. We are busier. Life is more expensive. We're giving less of our time and money. So the church also has to pay more people than they used to have to pay because we're giving less of our time.
Online streaming ain't free, folks. You got to pay for cameras and production equipment.
Come on now.
I'm gonna put that there and walk away. But, okay.
Come on now.
All right, I want to bring up this one pastor. His name is Greg Locke. He is not allowing people to wear masks to service anymore.
Oh, this nutball!
I want y'all to check out one of his most recent statements.
Entire nutball. Go ahead, brother.
Coming this week that says our campus is a mask-free church. Either kindly remove them or sit in your car. You can sit in your car. If you come to our church and you try to protest what I said by wearing a mask, we will escort you to the door. We're not playing. We're a place of faith, not a place of fear. We believe in healings and salvations and baptisms and restoration and revival. We believe in miracles, signs, and wonders. And we're going to talk about all this nonsense like, oh, everybody's got to sit 6 feet apart. You got to wear a mask. We will not allow it. We're a mask-free campus. That chaps your hide, I don't care. We're a mask-free campus. I can't believe that you would ask people to walk out of church for wearing a mask. I can't believe pastors put up with this nonsense. I can't believe they keep letting them do this to us, taking our rights away. If you want to wear a mask, wear one all day long, right? Wear one in your car, wear one in your house, wear one on the job. But when you come to church, by all means, you either believe in fear or faith. You don't have it both ways. We got
thoughts on Pastor Greg Locke.
This was actually a watered down version of what I heard him preach over the pulpit.
Yes. I found out about that video like 20 minutes before the show, so I didn't.
In a clip I saw, this dude is directly he's going to get somebody hurt. And it like, I'm really like, I have goosebumps right now and I'm angry and I'm dismayed because he's doing this in the name of Jesus Christ, and it kills me on the inside. But this is so irresponsible and hurtful. It's not until COVID visits your door and somebody that you know dies until he's going to be like, oh, well, I shouldn't have said that. And at that point, then where are we? Because we lost a life. But it's irresponsible. Faith is not stupidity. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but he's given unto us a spirit of power, a spirit of love, and a sound mind. Yo, God has, I'm not going to get into preaching right now, but I disagree with what he's saying.
So, I thought I recognized this guy. And now I realize where I think I know him from. If you haven't seen the video of the passenger on the Frontier Airlines flight who was acting so out of control that they literally duct tape him to the seat, this looks like it could be his dad.
Oh, okay.
And I have absolutely no facts to verify that, except for they got the same kind of stupid. So I'm assuming that runs in their genes. And so I started to stop listening, but then I was like, where do I know? Where does he remind me? Who does he remind me of? Then he said, if that chaps your hide. I have never heard anyone use that expression.
Southerners.
And that tells me exactly where I am not wanted and don't want to be. Don't talk to me like that. Just don't talk to me about things chapping my hide. No thanks.
Yo, he was even wilder on his pulpit. Like, it's just sad. And I know we show a lot of stuff and what the church is doing wild things, or people who are claiming church doing wild things. In a time such as this is more than just sad. This is irresponsible and dangerous. And I just encourage people to use better sense. To use better sense.
The people are going. He said they had to expand the tent.
Oh yeah,
y'all. I don't think.
Yeah, because they have their services in a tent. Yeah.
Yeah. He said, and guess what? If you don't want to come, whatever, we need your seat anyway.
I saw the video. It's 100% packed.
Yeah.
It's completely packed. It's very rally-ish of a former president. It's got that same vibe. But it has 100% same vibe. But it's just sad. Everybody be smart, be safe.
All right, I want y'all to take a look at this this video of this wedding, because sometimes you know how people get when the spirit is in you, it comes out in your wedding sometimes. So check out this wedding.
All right now. Richard, what's your answer? I do. All right. I do. And what is it? I do. All right. Yeah. Amen. 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 Come on now.
Now see that they're dancing for audio listeners.
It's not dancing. It's a good praise dance. It's a two-step. She's shouting. Amen. Pick him up. Put him down.
And for the audio listeners, the bride's mother is standing next to the bride.
There's mad people on the altar.
Yeah.
It's not that big of an altar. There's a lot happening.
Yes, Mom. We know. Yes, Mom. Yes.
So for those in here, the mother is yelling, "I got it right. I got it right. That's my baby. I got it right." Oh, there's more.
Dr. T? Oh, you got more? Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, because I watched it actually before.
Yeah, it's a lot more.
Worse.
It's a lot more carried on.
Pick him up, put him down, pick him up. Look at the groom. Look at the groom. Big boy just standing there like, okay.
They all just.
He just said,
Amen. Amen.
The
best part of a wedding. Come on now. You can still give God praise. Yes. Mister.
Does that sister have on tights?
Yes. I was waiting to see how long it's gonna take y'all to figure it out.
What in all the? What's happening, Cliff? Cliff, what are we watching? Is this a parody? Yo, first of all,
they're playing "It's Time for the Percolator." I want y'all to know that that's actually what's being played in the background. You can't hear that.
In the comments for this video, somebody said this looks like a Tyler Perry play.
Yo, what are we doing? You see, it's okay. Hey,
I was waiting for you to notice the sister in the yellow.
Because I didn't want to say nothing. Okay. Hey, I don't know her story. So I'm not going to crush her.
But we know she has one.
Oh, there's a story.
Oh, there's definitely a story.
That was going to be funny. There's a story here.
Look at the other chick in the turquoise.
Yeah.
Did she get in there?
I'm just trying to figure out, first of all, why is the mother at the altar with them?
Some of y'all
Why are any of those people on the altar? None of them match.
Some of y'all don't got the proper undergarments on for a good praise dance right now. It's just
and the girl right there looked like she got on jeans. Like what in the unholiness is this?
What? There's a lot happening. My man got his finest K&G suit on. I see you, big boy. Do what you do.
He didn't move though.
He just stood there. He gotta know what he gotta know what he getting himself into.
He did.
But what's going through his mind?
He's like, I signed up for this. I signed up.
Not yet, actually. Actually,
you gotta know.
He can depart.
You gotta know.
Those are some special yellow bell bottoms. Yes, I've heard blue Big Bird. Like that has to be a custom pair of tights she has on. She has on a pair of yellow tights with the matching halter top. It's a whole thing.
I thought y'all would enjoy this. That's why I put this on.
And look at these brothers over here. If you look at the groom side, you can tell that there was a conversation. There were several conversations. They said, "Brother, are you sure you want to do this?"
To try to talk him out of
this. 100. See,
yep.
I'm glad you feel what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. There was definitely several.
The two sides don't even match.
Nope.
I mean, because they all got on like matching suits.
Gray suit.
They look, and none of them are moving because they're like, "What is this? Yeah. Why she got her mama? She's got like 5 flower girls."
They just happy to be there, y'all. They just happy to be there.
This is great on so many levels.
She should have kept her, $79.99.
Wow.
In the bank.
All right.
Instead of doing this.
And with that,
Dr. T is coming back shooting. She's spicy. She done got her book done. And I don't know if you heard that flex earlier. I'm gonna need you for my book tour. I don't know if you heard that slight flex earlier. Dr. T is feeling good. She's ready to go.
I've got some time and some rest. I'm not here for that.
Since it's close to 10, do you have a rant for the people? I'm sure you do. I'm sure you got something built up over the last 2 months. Do you have a rant for the people? Hello.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you
do the same thing week after week after.
I thought you said, sister, it's close to 10. Do you have
since
it's close to 10?
Oh, my bad.
Since it's close to 10.
Yo, I really do have so much built up. It's like I don't know where to go. Nah, man, this ain't even I'm not even gonna try to be funny on this one. It's too much happening right now. Be smart and be safe out there, y'all. Like this we thought we was done with Covisha. Is that what we calling her again?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We thought
the Covisha.
Yeah, we thought we were doing the Covisha. It's really happening out here. So I need y'all to just be smart and just take care of yourselves. Let me tell you what happened to me though, real quick. So I was in a space in a place, and I had my mask on, right? And I was at jury duty. I had to get selected for it. They actually selected me for a jury. They actually put me on a jury. I thought between being black and having a Muslim last name, they were never going to select me. They actually selected me for a jury. Anyway, I'm sitting there, right? And it said on the thing on the paper to bring your mask. So I show up with my mask on, ready to go. I'm looking around. I see a couple other people. They got their masks. I go to sit down. I realize I'm in the minority. That most of the room is not masked up. I see all the little court monitor people. They ain't masked up. The police ain't masked up. The judge ain't masked up. The nobody else. Like the people running the show are not masked up. And so I'm like, bump this. These people look like Delta variants. I'm going to keep my mask on.
Like Delta.
And so I'm going to just keep my mask on. And I'm sitting there, and it's starting to get hotter in the room. And so at one point we were spatially distanced in between ourselves, and even in the chairs we were sitting in, they were socially distanced. And so the dude beside me, who was a couple feet over that way, he went to go to the bathroom. Like, I'm gonna take a break real quick. I had to breathe. I took the mask off, and old boy came back, and he brought with him an aroma I had not previously noticed because I was under a mask. And so, in that moment, I had to make a decision. Okay. I said, if I put this mask back on, he's going to know it was because of him. Because the only thing that changed when he sat back down is that his somebody called it was Lacia.
Sit down air.
His sit down air wafted into my area.
Oh, man.
Smacked me in my nostrils. And so I had to make some decisions. And so guess what? I'm not gonna lie to you, church. I made the wrong decision.
You didn't put your mask back on?
Didn't put it back on.
Oh, come on.
And so
you was feeling frisky, huh?
I was feeling frisky. I've been double vaxxed for a while. I'm feeling good. And so I got socially distanced. And plus, I was just like, it's just so much. He was already mad. The dude beside me was already mad because the usher of the center of the court people decided, they told him to take his hat off. I didn't know that was a real thing, by the way. He went around to all these good old boys and told them to take their hats off. These good old boys have not taken their hats off in public in about 10 to 15 years. And guess what? Their hair was not prepared to take their hats off. And the church usher came over to him and said, sir, I need you to take your hat off. And he sits there, and everybody else took the hat off immediately. The way he sat there, I said, oh, this is about to be a thing. And I just looked straight forward. I ain't make no eye contact with nothing. It was happening to the right. It was to my right. It was to my right. I ain't make no eye contact. I just said, I'm going to look forward. And all I hear after a solid 5-second pause, are you serious? Are you serious? I was like,
I can imagine this.
Yep. Are you serious?
Oh my gosh.
Well, yes, sir. This is just like a courthouse. You have to take the hat off. He's like, we're in the Penn State. Well, anyway, we're in a conference room. Are you serious? And he eventually took his hat off. And when I happened to look to my right, I saw why he did not want to take his hat off. It looked like mange and just some other stuff happened up underneath there. God bless the brother. He should just cut it off. But I say all this to say, I don't know why I was saying all this. Hey, stay safe out there. Be smart.
Don't take your mask off.
Hey, people sit down there. Hey, some of y'all, as y'all because y'all getting called back into work. Let me touch upon this. I'm gonna stop. When is the last? I touched upon this a couple times. Some of y'all ain't hearing me. When's the last time you gave your work clothes a good washing? Some of y'all.
I know that's what you're gonna say. Okay.
I have another one. Also,
I was gonna say try them on.
That's
sit down in them, do a little this, a little of that.
Some of the stuff that was looking real nice before, life may have changed a little bit during the COVID, and that outfit may not be hitting quite the way you thought it was before, and you could have had it tailored just right, and it may not be tailored that way anymore. So I just need you to check. I myself just took 5 pairs of dress pants down to the tailor because they were looking wild on me. I had to get them taken in. We got to get them done right because I have not worn them pants in a while. But we got to go back to work. I got to wear dress pants again. So I'm just saying, everybody, you know your ensemble. Take a look at your ensembles. Just make sure your wardrobe don't smell funky and it looks right.
All right.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I got a lot more.
You had months of pent up stuff.
Let me say this really quickly.
I shouldn't have really
quickly. I don't understand. I understand multitasking. I need y'all to quit riding bicycles and trying to talk on the phone at the same time. I need it. Stop doing it. I also need you to stop driving motorized scooters and try to be on the phone at the same time. If I can't text and drive, you can't text and cycle. It's a terrible idea. And let me say this really quickly. There's this terrible saying out there. It says it's just like riding a bike. which insinuates that if you haven't driven a bike in a while, you can jump back on it and you'll just automatically remember. Hey, I've seen some of y'all jokers on these bikes. Y'all do not know how to ride, and y'all want to put y'all bike in the street next to my car, slowing down the flow of traffic. There has to be some type of testing center or something before you are allowed to take your bikes on the streetways. Because I swear for God, if you fall in front of my car, and I'm like, that was your fault. Because some of y'all can't ride these bikes. I know you're trying to get your exercise in. You're trying to do good for the environment. Y'all know how to ride these stinking bikes. Practice.
Yeah, there's some reckless and rude biking. I will say that bikers feel like they own the road here. Oh, yeah, I've seen some reckless stuff.
Dr. T, do you have any tea for the people?
My take today is this. Look, 2020 was a hot mess. Yes. 2021 thus far has been a hot mess. Mm-hmm. And people gonna be people. So my encouragement to the neighbors today is to reclaim all your things. Reclaim your time, reclaim your peace and sanity, reclaim your coin, reclaim your personal space, whatever it is that the devil tried to take from you in 2020, reclaim it in 2021. I want you to have the same energy as the flight attendant who drop kicked the dude on that Frontier Airlines flight and then proceeded to duct tape him to his seat. That's the attitude we need to have towards the enemy in 2021. Amen. No more sadness and bogged down. I mean, feel your feelings, but let's live our lives. Mm-hmm. We have been through, honestly, worse. Mm-hmm. Let's live our lives, get the vaccine, wear your mask, keep washing your hands and using hand sanitizer, and have you a good time. Mm-hmm. We are going to get through this. So I just want everybody to reclaim all their things. Come on, all of their things, because people are going to be people. And we have so many examples. Simone Biles, Naomi Osaka, Issa Rae, reclaiming her romance.
Yo.
Yes.
That was dope.
I want a wedding like that one day when I grow up. I mean, it's just reclaim all your things.
Well, you already had your wedding, so you know.
I did. I'll have another one to the same person.
She meant renewal.
Renewal.
Chris, it's okay. She wasn't replaced. You see, somebody writes a book, they just replace everybody. And
that's how rumors get started. That's how rumors get started.
That's true. That wasn't funny. I apologize.
But that's my encouragement. That's my encouragement to everyone. That's what I'm on. I'm doing only virtual office hours. You can't come in my office. I'm not handing out no papers. I'm not collecting no papers. We going as virtual as we can get it. I will be wearing a mask and a shield as long as they have us in these classrooms. No, I cannot talk to you before or after class because it's illegal for me to ask you if you've been vaccinated. And basically, I can't force you to wear a mask in my presence. So because I have a little kid at home who cannot get vaccinated, we're not playing those games. Reclaim it, all your things, whatever it is for you, whatever those things are for you.
Well, all right.
Wow. Amen.
Y'all had months of pent up stuff. You know.
Hey man, I got more to fire off, but we're gonna keep moving this point. I'm gonna say some of these. It's good to be with y'all. It's good to be with y'all.
It is
good to be back. Before we go, I just want to give a shout out to my mom. Today is her birthday.
Hey, Mama Holmes.
Happy birthday.
All right. Hey. So, all the neighbors, I want to thank you for hanging with us tonight. Especially since we didn't tell y'all we was coming back on tonight and y'all just showed up.
We appreciate y'all.
Like the faithful neighbors you are. We appreciate it. We do this show every Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern right here on Facebook and YouTube. If you can't watch the show live, that's okay. You can always catch it on demand. You go to turntoyourneighbor.com for all the different ways that you can watch on demand, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Business Bully TV. You can also the podcast is wherever you get your podcast. So lots of different ways to check out the show. We appreciate all you neighbors for hanging with us, and those of you who are still hanging with us as we past the 10 o'clock hour. You are still running strong. You got anything else?
We got a request in the neighborhood. Evidently, Kev on Stage is Kev on Stage going to be in Philly, or is it going to be in Jersey? I don't know. Mac is asking, is anybody else in the neighborhood going to be at the Kev on Stage comedy show on Thursday?
It's probably sold out. If you don't have tickets by now, it's probably sold out. He's been selling. He's been selling out. He's been selling out a lot of venues.
That brother's doing it.
It's Philly.
It's in Philly.
That is good.
So look out for Mac.
Awesome.
Yeah, look out for Mac if y'all in there.
Wear your mask.
Yeah,
we need some TTYN mask.
Oh, I can make that happen.
Wear your mask, unless the Rona.
Oh, we're gonna make that happen. Okay, we can do it. We promote the vaccine and mask here on TTYN to make it abundantly clear.
We are a masked up and vaxxed up
to make it abundantly clear. All y'all check y'all sit down air, because some of y'all.
How do you even do that? Like, but do you practice sitting down and then smell yourself standing and sitting down? Like, how do you check your sit down air? Like, what is
you would need to have somebody you love be by you when you sit down.
Never in my life.
And just like take a hit. You never smelled somebody.
Never in my life have I considered my sit down. You make sure your breath doesn't stink. You brush your teeth, use mouthwash. Make sure your underarms don't stink. You take a shower, use deodorant. Never in my life have I thought I gotta make sure my sit down air doesn't smell bad.
If I'm gonna be honest, this is the outtake, but it's gonna be real. Sit down air comes from two things.
Okay.
Generally, soiled clothes, and also a odoriferous undercarriage.
Okay. Okay.
I took Dr. T out on that one. She wasn't ready. But depending on who
because using the Stephen A. Smith words,
if you haven't really done the proper uptake on your undercarriage for all people, this is gender neutral.
Yeah. If you're in the Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, we only bathe 3 days a week.
We're gonna talk
then,
about that.
you're just assume your sit down air stinks and everyone's suffering.
Yeah, exactly. And if you've been wearing that same pair of polyester pants for 4 wearings for the whole day, and you've been farting in them, you've been walking around, and you just hang them back up. Oh, I don't see any dirt. It's been soaking in that funk. And every time you sit down,
I think it's usually the clothes. If the clothes haven't been washed properly, and in our line of work, we're around a lot of funky sit down air. And we all, and funky toes. I had to tell this dude, I was like, cover your toes in my class. He came in and sat in the front row. I just couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was like, can you please wear, and this was a brother, so I felt comfortable. I was like, can you please wear some socks? Great student, great guy, did well in the class, athlete, great stand-up young man. I was like, you got to cover them toes.
Yo, you have. I used to work in the residence halls. Trust me, y'all don't know.
Was it the appearance of the toes or the smell that was hitting you?
They didn't smell.
They were gnarly,
but they looked like they did. And so I couldn't do it. I got the actual smell bads who usually sit near the back and come in late,
Smell
it
like
all goes. That's all a part of that, profile.
Smell like weed and marijuana. Weed and alcohol. I'm like, yo.
And some other things that we can't say.
Yup.
But yeah.
Weed and sex and alcohol. I told somebody one time.
Okay.
I said, hey, don't come into my office with your weed shirt. Like, don't. That's your weed hoodie, right? They're like, huh? Like you got high yesterday, right? Like, was it the good stuff? They're like, what? I can still smell it. They're like, oh, really?
Oh, really?
Like, oh, I didn't know. I'm like, yeah, dummy.
Everybody
Don't wear your
knows.
weed hoodie to my office.
Uh,
It's just I had to have a conversation.
Look at what your mom said. I just love how
They smell
we are
stuff
like
like
totally acting a fool, and she's like, "This is seriously a problem.
Uh-huh.
They sell
Oh,
things
Lisa.
to fix this."
They do. They absolutely do.
These people not buying. They need to they would be okay if they changed their clothes and took showers every day before they went to class. And you could tell because they get up.
Yeah.
And
Let me get
like,
sit down air spray.
Yep.
Get
Don't
that fresh
spark.
can.
Don't spark
Sit
up
down
before
air
you
spray.
come to my office.
right.
Just be reasonable.
Have
That
a
wasn't
little
before. That smell was probably from the day before. They just had the same stuff
baked
on.
in,
Yeah, that one was. That person
Yeah.
was. There have been other kids come up high.
baked in, simmered.
It was in there. That one was. But yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Donna makes a good point. The smelliest people are the most underwear. Yeah, stink people don't know they stink.
What you say?
But I
Donna
don't
said.
think
Yeah.
Donna said, "I'll put on the screen." Donna said the smelliest people are the most unaware. Yeah, people
100%.
that stink don't know they stink. They just exist.
But I don't think these people, it's a general BO thing that I'm talking about. It's a lack of hygiene. They would be fine if they had basic hygiene. These are not people who need like special soaps or deodorant. That's not what I'm talking about.
Right.
I'm talking about you don't take the proper precautions that we all learn as little kids.
Well, apparently washing is more common than we think.
And this is something we'll have to discuss because I thought there were rules and regulations regarding how you were supposed to be washing yourself and your children. Evidently, there are different people living by different rules.
Yeah, I thought only little kids intentionally avoided washing
I'm
up.
discovering it's adults.
Yeah, it's adults too. Just what's the point in washing?
Oh. But hey, check. Hey, I have a challenge for you. I want this. We're gonna make this into a smaller clip. The TTYN challenge. I want you to go into your closet, pick up your favorite pair of jeans, pick them up, and smell the butt. Smell the butt and the crotch area. If you come back with something that was not pleasing to your nose, just know that's what you smell like to everybody else.
Lord.
Just know that's what you smell like to everybody else. Go smell the butt and crotch of all your pants.
Oh, and there it is.
That's all I had to say.
We just did 20 minutes on sit down there. Probably.
Yeah, I Donna's right. Men need to be paying attention to this sit down air. Yes, men, I'm talking to you as well. Some of y'all go ball and then you put the jeans back or the sweats back over the ball shorts, and then guess what? Everything smells like ball from now on.
To the 12 people that are still watching this, especially those of you that are not our family members, y'all the real MVP.
Y'all know about sit down there.
Y'all the real MVP.
Check your sit down. I'm done.
Y'all. All right. We good?
They make powders and creams for it and sprays. Specifically for men. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
Oh, hey. Ironically enough, people are still interested in this topic.
It's something that need to be talked about. Y'all be blessed.
All right, neighbors. Until next time, take care. Be blessed. Peace.